Hey there, welcome back to my channel. This is the full moon zodiac scopes for the Libra full moon. Full of diplomacy though. Libra is a fair sign that wants justice for all. So we're going to be creating balance and harmony, not just for ourselves, but for other people. When you create balance and harmony in your life, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, you are creating liberation. You are creating liberation and freedom for yourself and for others. They aren't going to have to do that for you. So there is going to be an end to codependency or an illumination of relationships that are codependent. Okay, so the full moon is all about illuminating our seeds of intention, but the good, the bad, the ugly. So it's going to be illuminating the road, the way for you to get to what you want mentally, physically, and emotionally. And sometimes we don't like what we see. So allow the illumination of this Libra full moon to create balance and harmony in your life. Welcome. Thank you for joining. This is, going to be all about the signs, though, not just Libra. I'm Ashley Benford, creator of Benford's All Naturals. If you are just joining for the first time, I suggest you check out the previous video. But that was a little synopsis of what we're going to be talking about here today. Okay, we're going to go in depth for each of the signs. We're going to talk about the affirmations that you can work with and what Libra is affecting, which is Venus in the 7th house in the full moon. Okay, so stay tuned for more. If you want to go ahead and jump on to the other video and watch that and catch up with us here, that's great. But I'm only going to load the first 10 minutes of this video to Instagram. So if you're watching on IGTV, you need to head on over to YouTube. And I suggest you just subscribe over there and you get the full video every time and on time. It's always loaded there first. I upload to Instagram after. Okay, so let's get into it. As I said, we're talking about balance and harmony this full moon, okay? Not just for you, but for others. When you create for yourself alignment, mentally, physically, and emotionally, health, wealth, and abundance-wise, and spiritually, you are taking that load, taking that burden off of someone else, which it shouldn't have been theirs anyways. That's actually a Capricorn issue they got to deal with. Duty to self, taking care of their own issues so that they can do for others. But if your shit ain't taken care of, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself, okay? Related to Venus in the 7th house, the moon is going to be full of darkness, and it is going to be in Libra, as I already said. It's associated with our mood and emotions, watery by nature, though. The moon controls the tides, it controls ovulation, it controls sex, and it controls vegetation, it controls the ripening of fruit and tomatoes, for instance. Okay, so the moon is found high in the sky right now, and by Wednesday it will be full. Okay, it's going to reflect inner shadow character work or reflect shallow, less intense emotional releases. You can read all about this in depth, pages of information on my Instagram. I load every new and full moon, all about the sign, all about the planets, and all about the houses. Here, though, we're going to dive deeper into the signs themselves and how this moon is affecting you, okay? So, ruled by Venus, known as the I Love planet, this is related to Libra as well, and it's going to suggest cosmic attraction, governing all kinds of unions. So today we will be talking about your unions in conjunction with this full moon. Unions of all kinds, mental, physical, emotional, people, places, things, health, wealth, and abundance. It could be an inanimate object, it could be platonic, it could be sexual, it could be family, friends, whatever, complete strangers. So it could just be, people that you, what are those people called? Well, I just really call them, personally, once you hear about the backdrop theory, I just call them, when you're an extra on location, the extras, the passerbys. And that's what we all are in this existence, passerbys. So when we create our own leverage in a balanced, fair, harmonious way where there is no such thing as leverage, basically, when it's balanced, we're able to optimize society and everything in between, okay? So don't get me started on that. That would be almost like an idea of utopia and stuff, and it is what it is, okay? So anyways, some questions you want to ask yourself this full moon. Let's stay on track. What kind of unions are you attracting? Who? And what do you find beautiful? So Who, what people, places, and things do you find beautiful? Just, there's no right or wrong here, okay? These answers you just want to draw out of yourself. And also with the chakra questions that you may come in contact with in my other bodies of work. These things, there is no right or wrong. Answer from the heart and then go back 3, 6, 9 weeks, months, years, days later and reevaluate your answers and see how you have changed mentally, physically, and emotionally, okay? Do you feel worthy of these unions? So say you think this, that, or the other is beautiful, but you don't feel worthy of it. There's a block. Why don't you feel worthy of this, that, or the other? So there we go. That's why I'm saying you need to be honest and just there is no right or wrong. And do you deserve better, or are you settling in your unions with people, places, and things, your health, wealth, and abundance too, okay? So it's related to the number 7. You can read more about that on my website. And it's also related, this full moon, the moon in general, is always related to the I feel affirmation. Say it with me now. I feel to heal. I feel calm. I feel relaxed. I feel great. I feel worthy. I feel whole. I feel connected. I feel supported. Most importantly, I feel confident, okay? So that's related to the moon card, and related to Venus, and related to Libra, the I love affirmation. I love life. I love my body. I love my quirks. I love my work. I love the choices I make. I love unconditionally. I love because I am love. And that, as I said, is related to the Venus card. You can read all about that and the sun and everything in between on my IG Instagram account, Benford's All Naturals, okay? So this will be loaded to Instagram's IGTV, okay? So I'm going to take a minute here and pause, and we'll get started on the Zodiac scopes. Again, we're talking about the Libra full moon, okay? Okay, so here we are. We're going to get into the Zodiac scopes. Of course, I'm going to start with Libra and just sort of recap. Okay, the moon is going to deal with our emotions. It's moving every 2.5 days, so it's almost like we're all schizophrenic. Our emotions are changing every 2.5 days. If you are a water sign, if you are like Pisces or Cancers or Scorpio, you're definitely feeling the undulation of the moon, but it's affecting us all the time, okay? And Venus is the I love planet, and that's moving every 4.5 weeks or so, and that's the attraction, the magnetism that we experience to people, places, and things. Libra is an air sign, so there's a lot of bubbling of water here, airy water. So this could create rushing water. This could be like bubbles on, a bubbling brook, or that's a babbling brook. Whatever the case may be. Let me give my little words here a break. No, this is like my 3rd freaking video, so bear with me. Anyways, as I was saying, Libra's all about that balance and harmony, and that's what we talked about at the beginning of this video. But there are some cons, it's not all these great attributes. There are some weaknesses here. Decision making. They struggle with making decisions. They struggle with confrontation. So they can't decide between this, that, or the other. They don't take a stand for this, that, or the other because they want to please everybody, and they're bending over backwards for everybody. But then that creates grudges between them and others, and they never let it go. Self-victimization, pitying themselves, things like that. But really, if they could just stop and create balance and harmony on their own instead of creating it around them and being the one to rally the troops and get this, that, or the other together and organize and do it for everyone else, if they could just do it for themselves, it would be a lot easier on everyone else. So that's why I'm saying there's this idea of liberation. When we come to do for ourselves individually, we can do more collectively, okay? So here we go. If you want to connect with the Libra air full moon this Wednesday, lavender, amorous. Amorous is a lot like sandalwood, but it's just more affordable for my budget. So rosemary, orange, frankincense, but any resin or, to smoke, to light, that would be great, okay? Because frankincense is a resin, amorous is a type of resin, but orange would be great for cleansing and clearing, mental, physical, emotional, rosemary for memory, and lavender as well for calming the mind. Now, Libra mentally is going to be affecting us with this full moon. So you try to please everyone. I mean, we all occasionally have this tendency or not. So with Libra here, it will be heightened or not. This is going to leave you mentally, physically a bit drained, even emotionally, if you have spread yourself too thin. So you can try too hard to fit in at times, and this is going to go both ways, dumbing yourself down and fluffing yourself up. So you're going to compare and contrast a lot this full moon, yourself to others. This could be good, bad, or ugly. So don't go down the rabbit hole of coulda, woulda, shoulda. Oh my God, look at what they've got. No, it's not working for anybody. Don't do that. So you're going to get stuck on how unfair life is for you or someone else. And this idea of perfection or utopia is going to be coming up, and it's just unrealistic. Okay. Like I said, be logical, traditional, and use your intuition. Logic, tradition, intuition. So I talked about that in the other video. Like I said, I hope you watched the previous video. Okay. So we'll be great at bouncing ideas and finding a middle ground, though, that's for sure. But you can't ride the fence forever. So you got to decide. You got to start deciding for yourself this full moon, okay? Libra is all about, you got to control yourself. Then you'll see more harmony or ways to do it. That's what I keep saying. That's the message. That's what I'm trying to drive home. You need to create alignment in order to thrive. You need to work on expressing your emotions. You could be experiencing back pain, lower back pain in particular, kidney issues, middle fillers, support. Like, you aren't the middleman here. It's not your job to help and guide and navigate others. No, they got to find their own way. If you are an aid on the way is one thing, but you aren't planning their trip. Stop. Okay? It's like, you're not their travel agent here on earth. Stop. Relating to others, though, more personally will help you figure out your own problems. That's the thing. I think you're avoiding some work, so obviously. If you're trying to help other people do their own work, there's something here going on where you think you are above the work, or you're avoiding your own work. So you better check that, okay, Libra? You create your own limitations, but you also create your own expectations. Are your expectations limiting? By that, I mean, are they achievable? So be realistic, and it's logical, traditional, and intuitive. Stop getting too far ahead of yourself here, okay? Stop creating unachievable expectations, because that creates a loop of victimization, okay? And stop running from intimacy. With yourself, you know, and with others, because you, like Aquarius, you are a bit detached when it comes down to it, when it really comes down to it, okay? So Libra will be invoking this within all of us, like a tendency or a flair for music right now, and just enjoying it, or even expressing yourself through music. This could be through song or dance or playing, okay? But also writing and poetry, expressing yourself in these ways, getting your imagination station on with the full moon. There's a lot that's being illuminated, okay? But creating justice, you will dream of justice, you will desire justice, okay? But through separation. So it's almost like the sword cutting through people, places, and things, cutting through the bullshit to create that justice, okay? And saying it, so it is, you know? And that's in your mind, cord cutting with other people, places, and things. Finding that ambition, finding that drive, finding that motivation to be independent again. And that will create the liberation. Your codependency that you are experiencing, the codependency that you are experiencing in your unions with people, places, and things, health, wealth, and abundance, the relying on other people, or being the giver, the aid for other people, unless you're being paid and there's some sort of reciprocity and fairness and balance, you gotta stop. You're being depleted, okay? Or if you're taking, you got to stop. They can't do it anymore, okay? And if you are being a doormat, and if you are being the one run dry, put a cork in it already and stop pouring it out for everyone, okay? So lots of shifts this full moon, leading to many external changes, mentally, physically, and emotionally. As I've been saying to so many fucking people, relax. You asked for this balance and harmony. Now you don't know what to do with it. That's just like it always is. When it gets good, we're wondering when it's going to get bad again. Stop doing that. You gotta realize that it can be this good, or that it should be this good. Stop putting up with less than good. You should be only getting the best, expecting the best, and getting the best, okay? So relax, sit back. You've worked hard, and if you haven't been working hard, you gotta put in the work, or else you ain't getting shit, okay? So work hard. We're just getting started here this year. This spring equinox is the same day as this full moon on Wednesday. So I mean, it is. The gun just went off. Go time, run, boogie, get around that track, okay? So, into the signs. Here we go. Aries, balance your energy, find patience for others. It's not even your motherfucking birthday yet. We just got into your fucking sun sign. Slow down. Stop trying to impress everyone, you know. It's not doing you any good. You just need to impress your ancestors, angels, and guides, and look in the mirror and say, ha, I look good, I feel good, I got this. If you are trying to impress social media, family, friends, lovers, people down the street, people in society, it's vanity, it's ego, it's got to go, okay? Become more soul-centered as you shed the ego and start to impress your ancestors and yourself. You can be a bit childish, in your, in your unions with people, places, and things, by that I mean the tantrums, the mood, impulsivity, impatient, but you do have this tendency to bring the energy and bring the fire, and people love you for that, because you are so much fun. You are so enjoyable. You never miss a beat. You're always on your feet. You hardly ever sleep. I mean, I could go on and on and on. I have an Aries moon. I have an Aries sister. I mean, it's just, I know, Aries in and out. You enjoy the chase mentally, physically, and emotionally when it comes to people, places, and things, but you want what you want when you want it, which is kind of conflicting there, okay? You demand attention, you need honesty, but you aren't always honest with yourself and others, okay? You can become a cheater because you like the chase, and so you get tired in your unions. There are so many things, and by that I mean you cheat on yourself with other people, places, and things. So you have these desires, you have these hopes and dreams, but you go after the wrong people, places, and things. So you're almost cheating yourself out of this happiness and joy that you so desire. Okay? So bounce the load in your unions, Taurus. Try not to force or control. You have issues with jealousy. You have issues with codependency, and you have issues with, letting people out of your sight who you love. Like, you want to control them mentally, physically, and emotionally, so you try to provide for them and have this one up over them, and that's got to stop, Taurus, okay? You need comfort in your unions for sure, and all the whining and dining, more than Leo almost, you like it on thick. You want order though, and structure, and you have very traditional values. You are possessive, very possessive and controlling, and jealous, afraid of change, and stubborn. You are demanding and need attention, a lot like Aries, but you're not into games or drama. You kind of have learned the lessons that Aries left you. That's how the signs always go. You become the very devout lover, you or partner, the very, you are the traditional once and done, forever and always sort of, okay? But you are very demanding and very hardworking and very devoted, very sensual, very loving. So there's the good and the bad, but you're fun at your core too. You and Aries are quite the duo, and it would be great if the two of you almost could mash up in a way, in my thoughts and opinions. Don't quote me, okay? But anyways, fun at your core. You're the real deal, Taurus. I'll be honest. I love me some Taurus. I do. My chocolate mama's Taurus. I just love them. I love Taurus. And I also have Taurus in the second house. So I myself love the whining and dining. I like that. Okay. Anyways, back to it. Gemini, it's time for you to create more balance and harmony by yielding or bending or becoming a samurai warrior and, like slow motion CGI, okay? But try to be more consistent also, okay? So get a routine, get into the habit of, create structure, create supports, create stability. Learn from Taurus how to do that, the commitment and loyalty there. So you enjoy conversation though in your unions. You can attract others by just just you're flirting and talking alone. You are smart and witty, sort of like a politician, though. You can have others believing you, even if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I mean, which is, call it suave, call it, a silver tongue. What, I don't know what silver tongue. Maybe that's the right phrase. I gotta quit with these phrases because sometimes I don't even know what I'm saying, but I channel, so who knows what I'm saying half the time. Anyways, you need stimulation. You like to keep it up and going and going and going, and you get bored easily, and you're like thing one and thing two, and then you got to clean up your messes because you got this going and that going in every which direction. And that's what's going to happen with Mercury once it goes direct. But here's the thing, if you've been doing the work, you're going to have to find ways to compartmentalize all of these thoughts, ideas, beliefs, actions, and things you've got going on. Get the wheels all going in the right direction, because you can't have 15 different trains going in multiple different directions. I mean, you can have different seeds planted, but you got to make sure they all kind of will grow together, or they're all going to grow in different seasons also, okay? So keep that in mind. So anyways, back to it, Gemini, you have an ever-changing appetite for people. You like to flirt, but you're full of half-truths that keep people guessing. So call it elusive or not, or what's the word? You just leave things out to keep people guessing. I don't know. But, you got to work on being yourself when it comes to being around people, being authentic, being true to you. I know, actually, I can vouch for that. I'm a Gemini in Vedic astrology, sun and rising. And the more I realize it this month, as I step into the retrograde, as I have worked through the retrograde, the Mercury retrograde, and now as we move into Gemini, into Mercury, I realize I've just become way more authentic and true to myself. And what more could you ask? Okay, that's what your ancestors, angels, and guides are asking you to do. That's what we're asking Aries to do, Taurus to do, Gemini to do, everybody to do. That will create the liberation in your relationships with people, places, and things. If you do you, they get to do them. They get to be them, whatever, however you would say that. But anyways, do yourself, and other people will get to be. Well, actually, think about it this way. When you do you enable other people to do what they want to do. You're creating that freedom and liberation for them, because it's like, wow, if I can be me and they don't care, then they can be themselves and I don't care. It's like, it makes the world so free. I love it. Anyways, Cancer, balance your need to love and be loved. You love people because you want to be loved. Well, what if you just loved yourself? Wouldn't that be amazing? That's what I'm talking about. That's the liberation I'm talking about. That's the freedom I'm talking about. Because Cancer will love people to create codependencies so that they gotta love them back. Cancer, you gotta stop doing that. So you want commitments from your family, friends, and lovers. You need that security to know you're needed and wanted. It's like, I want you to want me. I want you to love me, live Ramones or whatever, okay? It's like, no, that's not healthy, okay? So, anyways, you love to care for others, though. At your core, you are a nurturer, and that's your display of love, mothering and smothering. So you read feelings, though. You read people instead of listening to what they're saying, which could get you into trouble, really, because you aren't catering to them in the now, and they don't realize that you're actually giving them the medicine that they need, and they hate how it's going down, and they're mad at you in the end. So you got to kind of watch out for that. Be careful of that. You have a big heart, though. At your core, really, you have that huge heart, and it's hard for anybody to match you. You really just can't handle rejection, so you cling and smother people. You make it to where they need you, and that is not healthy. Okay, that's the kind of codependency I'm talking about. Leo, balance the need to impress with your ego by sharing your abundant heart, mind, body, and soul. It is not all about the glitz and glam. You want to show off your love. You need to learn, though, to keep it sacred. You need to keep your family, friends, and lovers sacred. You can be hard on your partners, though, because you are more like an extension. They are more like an extension of you instead of their own entity. It's like you become a conglomerate. You take them on, okay? So your ego can take over, and that's hard on people, and it's bruised easily. So you're a generous lover, though, very loyal, very, very happy and joyous, like when it is the honeymoon phase, it is great for you, Leo, okay? Think about J-Lo. Like, how many motherfucking times has she been married? Isn't she a Leo? You know, she loves the honeymoon phase. Didn't they just get engaged? Anyways, you need lots of attention, pampering. You're afraid to be alone. You need to live life on stage. So if you are alone, there's no one watching you, and you don't like that. So sometimes you keep people around, like an entourage, the wrong people, places, and things around. So be mindful of that. Virgo, you just got lucked out. The moon is not in your sign when it is completely full, but for the most part of its 3 days before, it is going to be in your sign. So you need to balance your need to break things down and criticize them. You know, you need to start appreciating the process more instead of just breaking it down and beating yourself up. Okay, appreciate the process more, have an attitude of gratitude for it more. You know, you have the most trouble dating, I want to say, because you're afraid to put yourself out there. You are the most self-critical. So you might meet your partner young, or you definitely like fixer-uppers. So your family, not your family, your friends and lovers will be like, I'm not putting people in class or statuses, but beneath you in a way. And I'm not saying that to be good or bad. It's just you don't mind a fixer-upper. You see the good in people, or you are rooting for the underdog, which is great about you. But you put a lot of work into your unions, and really, that's what I'm talking about. If the work ain't there to be done, you're like, I'm not of service here. I'm not needed here, okay? You are loyal, though, through and through, but you are insecure, and you have no clue how beautiful you really are, mentally, physically, and emotionally, okay? And how beautiful, and the beauties that other people see in you. Like, you have no clue how fucking perfect you are to so many people. Why are you beating yourself up so much, Virgo, okay? So you got to create some balance and harmony and start, you know, loving yourself more, taking care of yourself, you know, your heart, mind, body, and soul, because we know you're taking care of those looks that you got down, okay? And actually, you're kind of just naturally beautiful, let's be honest, okay? Just saying. Virgos, I love you. But just, again, stop breaking yourself down. Stop beating yourself down. Stop being so hard on yourself. You got this. Okay? Libras, back to y'all. Stop trying to stay so balanced and actually take a stand. It's almost like you're on this tightrope and you won't pick a side, and you can't keep riding the fence like this. It's going to break you down, okay? You want to show off, though, and by that I mean you're kind and generous. You have excellent manners. You know, you're always in the know and know how to behave, and no matter what the setting is. Kind of makes you a little bit of a social snob. Libras, I'm talking to you. You can't stand loud, obnoxious people. Probably can't even stand me. Maybe I don't even have a lot of Libras watching. But anyways, you basically change your life to meet the needs and expectations of everyone else around you, which leaves you actually pretty empty inside. So if you start doing for yourself, creating balance and harmony for yourself, and deciding for yourself, you'll stop being torn and being pulled for everybody else. You know, you got to stop doing that. You are a social butterfly, though, so 'tis the season for these next few days for you. Enjoy it. Get out there, have some fun. Just, again, don't be so hard on yourself and others, okay? Because you're always trying to create balance and harmony everywhere you go. You need to do it yourself. We're seeing through you, Libra, okay? Scorpio, balance your desires and needs by opening up more and communicating. We talked about this actually in the previous video, because next week, or the end of this week, ends in Scorpio. You know, we're on to you as well. I got your number, okay? So you can be all or nothing real quick, and you're committed like that, and you're a fearless lover that's open to exploration mentally, physically, emotionally, and sexually. But you tend to control your partners because they ultimately become your world, a lot like Leo. You eat, they become you. And it's suffocating and controlling and dominating, and it's cuckoo. and it's got to stop. But you are beautiful and charming and sexually appealing to so many. I mean, good God, it's just, you're this exotic fruit for sure. But you are way too mysterious for all the wrong reasons. We are on to you. We are seeing through you. Because you're afraid to share your truth and to come out of your little gray cloud that you hide under and all of that black clothing that you wear. Green is the new black. Green is great color, like army green. Come on, expand your wardrobe here. So you can become obsessive in your looks and your advances and observations of people, places, and things. Again, a lot like Virgo, self-critical, way too self-critical, and it's keeping you from people, places, and things. You guys gotta stop that. My direct messages are loaded with all of you like, but I'm too shy, I don't want to put myself out there, oh, I've been burned before, I've been hurt before, like all of you saying the same things. Get out there. What's the worst that could fucking happen, okay? Sagittarius, you need to find ways to ground down, though. You are a wild child, and your free energy could be hard on other people because it's not free. The loads you dump on people are shitty. I mean, you are whining and dining and dashing. You are afraid of commitment, living your own world, do your own thing, expect others to keep up with you. You want to crash here, crash there, get on with your life over there. You don't realize that your childish ways, your codependent ways, are very hard on others. The luxuries that you have been afforded, Sagittarius, don't come cheap, and they aren't free. I don't know where in La La Land you live, okay? So you need freedom in your unions, and you need space, that's for sure. You want people that are willing to grow with you and participate with this idea of yours though. Well, that's not balanced and harmonious. That's not fair for your family, friends, and lovers, okay? So you got to fix that. You got to work on that, okay? You want someone to experience life with, but on your whims. And that's not fair for other people, okay? You want to have a good time, but you, like Aries, are very impulsive, okay? And this is very hard on your partners. You are a runner. You run from the problems, which is also running from the solution. When there is a problem, it's a simultaneous world. A solution will also pop up, okay? So you are running from the very answer you want, and you're just going to keep bringing with you the problems that you have everywhere you run, and it's going to get heavier and heavier, the load that you carry and dump on people, okay? So stop doing that, Sagittarius. Capricorn, loosen up. You're being pretty rigid and structured, and while it works for you, it doesn't work for everybody to do it your way. It's not my way or the highway here, Capricorn, okay? You want to be in control and wear the pants, but you got to control yourself. You got to work on self-control and a duty to self, okay? Stop trying to impress others by talking about what you got and how successful you are. Some people don't give a shit about what you got. It's about what you got inside, not something you've acquired outside of yourself, okay? You're a lot like Leo there, loud and proud. That shit ain't impressive, okay? That's more for men. Anyways, you guys laugh at your own jokes, and I love them too, but sometimes they're not that funny. You enjoy your alone time, which is brilliant. I think more partners should be like you, with a comfortable space, a comfortable silence, and that is a brilliant thing about you. You are pretty routine though, pretty traditional, and pretty, set in your ways. Like, you like roles. You like to have defined roles with your family, friends, and lovers, especially your partners, okay? And you feel secure in that structure because it creates a dynamic for you that you are like up, down, like, and then if it's broken, where it's got to be fixed. Like, so it's just really easy for you. I'm not saying you're stupid or anything, but you just like it nice and simple. But that's where that logic, tradition, intuition comes in. So it's a chain of command. It's just structure, support, stability, security for you. You are shy though, behind the scenes, but is this an issue with self-control or like to control other people, places, and things? You are shy generally by nature, so you try to control other people, places, and things so you don't have to worry about your flaws or hindrances or things like that. They wouldn't come into play because someone that's critical and trying to control other people, places, and things, let their faults come into play, okay? So this is loading to a new file, so I'm going to have to load these together. Anyways, Aquarius, we're almost done. Good thing. Aquarius, come back to earth, share your ideas with others, but be more open-minded to merging old and new. Remember, logic, tradition, intuition, tradition passed down to you, family, friends, and lovers, people, places, and things that have been in your life continuously, that have been in your life consistently. You know, there is something to say for that. It is everlasting in a way. So fuse that, merge that. It's a fusion of old and new. Okay, so you are open-minded, focused on the future, and you're always trying to stay ahead of other people, places, and things, and be unique. You love in your own way, that's for sure. You're very strange lover for sure, but nothing conventional about you. That's it. I mean, no what did I write there? No rules. Yes, no rules when it comes to what you'll love and who you will love, but you do like to be seen. As much as you think you're in a different league, in a different world, in a different planet, you like, Leo, like to be seen, and you will never admit it. I'm just saying. You want to be desired by other people when it comes to your thoughts and what you can do and give and how you can contribute, which is almost a bit ego and vain. It's like you want to be known for the one that, like, be the humanitarian, be the philanthropist, and sure, it's nice to give, but you should give more anonymously, okay, if you know what I mean. Anyways, you're afraid of intimacy, and you really need to cultivate friendships so that you can cultivate healthy partnerships, because with friends you can sort of slowly open up in a safe way without feeling judged, and you can become intimate. There's even there's actually I want to say somebody blogged about it, wrote about it, studied about it. Friendships are more necessary than partnerships with sexual partners and partnering up to procreate, whatever the case may be. You know, like, having friends is healthier. It creates happier people. We isolate ourselves sometimes when we get into domestic relationships. So you have to really make sure that you have family, friends, and then lovers. And I always say it that way, okay? So Aquarius, come back down to earth, come hang out with us earthlings, and create some friendships here. And lastly, Pisces, speak up and out if you want to be heard. What you have got to say really does matter, and it matters to these people, places, and things. And if you don't say it, they'll never know it. So you really need to speak it up and speak from the heart. You're very critical of yourself, though, so that's part of the problem there. You're full of dreams, and with a tender heart, you flirt in your own way, leaving them guessing. And you use your emotions to sort of tease or control others, which is codependent and unhealthy occasionally. Okay, so it's manipulative. It's just not good. Okay, not one for plans though. You like to feel people and places and things out, so you're not huge on committing, on pre-commitments. You're more on a whim. Okay, so you might do well with my Sagittarius. Anyways, your shyness can really keep you isolated. It can really keep you from family, friends, and lovers, and keep you in a deep, dark world that you don't want to swim in alone. So you've got to find a way to put yourself out there. Okay, and when you do connect with people, it's forever, and it almost feels like lifetimes, that's for sure. So maybe that's what you're afraid of, because you know it will be forever. So you're very picky, very calculated, very, not for everyone, and that's fine. You feel for everyone though, and everything in its own way, for sure. But who you allow in and who you take home in your heart, it's coveted. Okay, so anyways, it's no ego, it's no power, it's no fame, it's no fortune. It's just pure love. When you love someone, it's real, it's raw, it's vulnerable. So I can see why you're afraid to do that. You could get hurt, okay? And it creates an idea of victimization here, because you are afraid to love. So you feel like a victim of love because you love so deeply, and that's a bunch of fucking bullshit. You got to get out of that. You just have to be cautious. You have to be logical, sensible, traditional, intuitive, you know. Don't just put your heart on your sleeve and go out there for the whole world to see. And if you are, be strong enough to carry your heart on your sleeve, okay? So anyways, watch your mood around other people. You, like Aries, can have a bit of a mood swings and tantrums there, okay? So be mindful of that. I love you guys. I'm going to load the first few minutes of this to IGTV, but you can always watch them here on YouTube. So I hope you subscribe. Bye.